You know that smack, that Will Smith, Chris Rock smack that was heard around the world? It was just another Matrix trick, girl. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A year ago, I had a near-death-like experience, and ever since then, I could pick up on energies, and I could even hear from God itself. I was told it would take my soul 14,422 lifetimes to get it together. So I decided to start a social media platform so I can help more people speed this thing on up and finally get the heck up off this planet. Tired. I don't want to be smacked. Guys, welcome back to Instructions for Humanity. It is your girl, your spiritual teacher, Tahirah, where I teach the divine message I received, that we are all one in love. Grow with me, guys. Love with me. It's going to be a great ride. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and talk about that smack. Did you see that smack? The smack that was heard around the world. That one. We're going to talk about how that was just another day in the Matrix. Just another day. Guys, we normally do not talk about race on this channel, but I'm just going to have to just jump right into this one. Oh, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of my future videos. Guys, for those of you, before I talk about the race, for those of you who do not know, I used to be in the film and television industry. I worked on multiple shows and even produced at Judge Judy. So I know about what's going on in this television film industry. So I just had to put that out there as a disclaimer. I channel spirit for those of you who do not know. So I get a lot of messages from spirit about what's going on on the other side, you know, in the kingdom of heaven. Guys, there's no secret on this channel. Spirit told me that heaven is what? Part of the Matrix. Every time you go to heaven, you will be reincarnated. Heaven is spirit school and earth is earth school. So you go back and to and from earth school, spirit school, earth school, spirit school. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let me talk about race. So guys, I don't talk about race on this channel because you know that I know that we are not our bodies. This is just a meat suit, an earth suit that we put on. Girl, I don't even know if we get a choice. We just put on this meat suit that they give us. They stuff us back down the womb so we can be born and do this all over again. So anyways, you are not your body. You are not your race. Now, I know, I understand. I got on the meat suit of a black woman and I'm good at it. I'm good at being a black woman, okay? But I understand that I am not my body. So when I talk about white people in this video, I'm really talking about the light. The white people is going to be synonymous with the light. And the dark people, or the black people, is going to be synonymous with the dark void. That is what's really going on. They are using us. We're all pawns in their little matrix game. They are using us to go ahead and stir the pot. That last video I did, where I spoke about the light to dark ratio. They want 2/3 light things happening on this earth and 1/3 dark things happening on this earth. That's how they keep their matrix game going. That's how they keep the souls wanting to come down here, because it's mostly good. Okay, so that is what's going on. So the reason why, now I'm first going to tell you that Will Smith, he was used. He was used, and I'm going to tell you why he was used. But he was used to go ahead and defame Serena and Venus Williams and their father, Richard. I believe that's his name. He did a good job at taking down their legacy. When this whole thing was happening, millions and millions of people were watching. And we're still talking about the smack that was heard around the world, guys. We are still talking about it, but it's just another matrix ritual. So another thing is, I did another video where I channeled spirit, and they told me about everything that's going on in the world, about the new world order, right? And I'm going to go ahead and link that video, because when these people get up and talk on that podium, anytime, spirit told me, anytime you see them get up and talk on a podium, just go ahead and remove everything they're saying on that podium. It is all a lie. You want to see behind the curtains, because that's what's really going on. So I'm going to link that video. Okay, so I set that up for you. So we now know when I talk about race, I'm talking about white. If I'm talking about white, I'm talking about the light. If I'm talking about black people or dark people, I'm talking about the dark void of the universe, guys. So they use Will Smith. You know why they use Will Smith? I'm going to tell you why they used him to go ahead and defame Serena and Venus and their father's legacy. Because Will Smith has been doing a little dabbling in something called ayahuasca. For those of you who don't know what ayahuasca is, and I believe I'm pronouncing that right, it is like a plant herbal tea. It's like plants and bark, and it's like a tea that you drink. And when you drink it, it sends you on a trip outside of this world. You have like a near-death-like experience, a spiritual transformative experience, an outer body experience. Yeah, it does that to you. And he's done this 13 times. He's taken ayahuasca. He's spoke about it in interviews. He's done it 13 times. So he knows who he is now. He knows exactly who he is. He knows who the light is, and he knows who the dark void is. And I believe that his little dabbling in this and his little interviews talking about this is changing the light to dark ratio. And they have to change it back. So the first thing I want to do, let me go ahead and read a statement that he did. So you guys know this happened at the Academy Awards. It was the biggest stage in the world. And he chose this day of all days to do it. You know, I understand it was like supposed to be just in the moment and it happened, but we ain't never seen Will do that. Now, I'm from Hollywood and I know everything going on in the streets. And trust me, they got a lot of other bigger issues that they could have flipped out about than this one, you know? So he made a statement, and I'm going to read to you verbatim what he said. He said, "I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for us all. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will." So that is what he said. So even before I did this video, I didn't even see this. I already knew that he had defamed the Williams family, and he admitted it. He said, "I want to apologize to the Williams family and to my King Richard family." He doesn't matter if he wasn't trying to do it. He did it. But I think this was all done on purpose. And I'm going to continue to tell you why. It's all about keeping that light to dark ratio. Because what happened here? He did another interview, and I think it was a press junket when they were promoting the movie about Serena and Venus. And they were, Will Smith said this, and I think this is what really has gotten him in trouble because it's throwing that balance off. What he said was, and I'm going to paraphrase this. He said that Venus and Serena Williams are to tennis as to what Tiger Woods is to golf. Guys, you already know. You already know why that's a huge problem. Because tennis and golf were what? Always synonymous with, it was a white-driven sport. Now it's being synonymous, instead of being synonymous with the white or the light in this scenario, it's now being changed and being synonymous with the dark, with the black people. That is throwing that balance, that 2/3 ratio of light and dark off. So he's basically saying that they are the greatest that have ever played the game of tennis, just as Tiger Woods is the greatest that has ever played the game of golf. That was a huge, bold statement to make. And that changes everything. It changes that light to dark ratio. So let us make no mistake about it. This is all a matrix trick to bring back the balance. And I'm going to explain to you how they've done this in multiple situations. So not only did they defame Richard, they defamed him. He even said, I think I saw another clip somewhere where he basically said that Richard's personality, like when he got up and he accepted his Academy Award or his Oscar, and he basically said that, you know, this is art imitating life, that basically this is Richard's personality. The smack was Richard's personality. So that right there, whether he was trying to defame his character or not, he did it. He did it in that moment. I was Richard, I would be very, very upset. May even take legal actions because he just threw him under the bus just while millions and millions of people were watching. So he took him down right there. Whether he was trying to or not, he took him down. He basically said that Serena and Venus' dad is a monster. He basically pulls stunts like this, be smacking holes anywhere he want to. Essentially, that's what he said. And so now he's taken down Richard, black man Richard. He's taken down black woman, Venus and Serena. And he's taken himself down because I think he's been dabbling with this ayahuasca. And I'm going to tell you what he said about it in a minute. In a minute, I'm going to tell you that. But, you know, Tiger Woods was taken down by what? When he was married, all of those women came out. All those mistresses came out. That he was sleeping with them when he was married and doing whoopty whoop whoop whoop. And girl, it was crazy. I'm like, Tiger, I didn't know you had it in you, but obviously you did. At 1, I was like, okay. 2, I was like, ooh. 3, I was like, oh. And 4 and 5 and 6 and beyond, I was like, girl, I can't help you. You know, as black folks, we always want to stand by our black celebrities because, you know, it's rare that we get them. So we want to stand by them. But I was like, after the 3rd one, I was like, man, I can't help you with that. Can't help you. So anywho, he got taken down by the system, by the matrix system, because, you know, they have to keep the balance. So they want to bring golf back to the light side. They want to bring the game of tennis back to the light side. Even when we speak about Bill Cosby, remember all those old women were coming out from the 70s talking about he did this and that to them. And it was crazy. It was so many of them. It was just like Tiger Woods all over again. It was just a lot. You know, he even went to jail. But guys, he was like revered in our community growing up. He played a doctor on the Cosby Show. He changed what? He changed the image of the dark, right? He changed that image. So that balance was off. We had to take him out, put it back on the light side, back on the white right side, right? So then, well, that's 4 people taken out. Then what? What happened to Kobe Bryant? Remember when Kobe Bryant passed away? It wasn't but 2 seconds after he passed away. All the news outlets had to remind you on some sexual assault thing that happened that wasn't even founded way back in the day. It was like 20 years ago. But that was the first thing. They couldn't wait. And they used Kale to go ahead and try to defame this man. It was like 2 seconds after he passed away. It was just wicked. But they wanted to take what? They wanted to take that back. An American hero, basketball hero, very intelligent man. They had to take that, put it back what? On the white, bright, and right side. You get where I'm going. I could keep going with this, but you guys get it. You guys get it. See, it's never really about white and black. That's why I don't even talk about that in this channel, because this is just a meat suit. That's all that it is. You're going to get different ones every time you come down here. So I don't even get into that because I am not my body. I am my soul essence, okay? But you see, they're using black and white people, pitting them against each other. Because really what they're doing, they're trying to hide who you really are from you. So let's circle back around to talk about Will Smith and his 13 ayahuasca trips that he's been on. So I watched one of his interviews that he did about this plant medicine, I'll call it, ayahuasca. And he said that he took it, and then after an hour, he fell asleep, and all of a sudden he was taken light years away from the earth. He said he knew that he was never coming back here to this earth plane. He was taken so far away, and he passed all of the universes. In this multiverse, he saw colors he'd never seen before. He saw beings he'd never seen before. He was just in the bosom of the dark void cosmic mama. And he was seeing all these beautiful things that they never tell you about. They just tell you to go into that light. Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, that's where you get sucked back down to the womb. That's where you're seeing that light, because you're about to be reborn again after some time, but you will be reborn again. But see, Will Smith went into the dark void in his ayahuasca trip. He went into the dark void. He went into what? The dark side that they want to tell you that is so bad, right? It's only the light that is bright and right. And the dark is bad and mean and angry and dirty. But no, he went into the dark void and he saw things that he never seen before. And then all of a sudden he saw a cosmic being, actually not saw, but he felt the presence of a cosmic being. And he said that this being was like a female, feminine essence to her. And it was everything that he ever wanted all in one. It was like a wife, a friend, a sister, everything that he ever wanted all in one. And he was whole and he was complete. And when he turned his head, he was trying to get a glimpse of her. He turned his head and she would move with him. He turned his head the other way and she would move with him. And all of a sudden she told him, silly, this is you. All that beauty that you've been seeing, all that beauty that you've been oohing and eyeing about, this is who you are. This is your soul essence. You are the divine source energy, God. That's what's happening to him. And he repeated that ayahuasca 13 times to get that feeling. 13 times. Because that feeling was completeness. It was wholeness. He did that 13 times. He went into the dark void 13 times. They never tell you about the darkness, guys. You know, we live in a world where there's the polarities. You know, there's always two sides to the coin. If there is a light side, there must be a dark side to every single thing. Every single thing. But if you notice, in the kingdom of heaven, it's only light, bright, and white. They never tell you about the dark side of it. They don't tell you that heaven is spirit school. And that when you go there, you have a ruler. And you'll be pressured to come back and take all these lives. They put the veil of forgiveness over you. You forget who you are. You forget that you are God. So there is a dark side also too in heaven, but they don't show you that. So Will Smith connected with who he really is. And he's been talking about it. He's been doing interviews about it. He is making the dark side what? Seem like the place to be now. They can't have that. Remember, this parasitic matrix runs off of 2/3 light, 1/3 darkness, and they already have it mapped out. They don't want you interfering. See, you think when you're doing things that you're doing things because you have free will. No, there's no such thing as free will. It's all in your script. You've already rehearsed this in heaven. There's no such thing as free will. Because your free will would actually knock that balance off. There's only variables. They give you different variables, different outcomes, but trust me, it's all factored into the game already to keep the perfect balance of the 2/3 light and the 1/3 darkness. So there is no free will per se, because you can never mess that balance up, because that would mean the matrix would fall. The matrix would fall if that balance was not kept at all times. So that what was going on, he was messing up the balance. All of these black celebrities were messing up the balance. They were messing up the balance, making you feel like black is a good thing, making you feel proud to be black, to know black people, to respect black talent and black excellence. But we can't have that because it's going to mess up the matrix system, light to dark ratio. That is what's going on here. Now, there's multiple things going on. This was all a distraction too. There's a bunch of laws that were presented or even passed the next day, the eve of that whole event going on with COVID in California. And it's quite shocking, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. But we're just going to talk about the light to dark ratio being off balanced. That is what they are running their whole parasitic matrix out of. That is why they always have to tell white people that they are superior, that they are the best, and that Black people are nothing and they're 2/3. Remember, guys? That just proves my point. Black people are 2/3 of a human. But actually, it is the darkness that is actually the light. And it is the light that is actually the darkness. See, this matrix we're in, everything is inverted. So everything is just the opposite. So they always told Black people they were 2/3 of a human. Remember, they want to keep 2/3 of the light. So that really means that the dark is the light. 2/3 light, 1/3 darkness. They've exposed themselves. I didn't even think about that, but they exposed themselves. So that's what's going on. So don't get into all these race debates and all this stuff. And I see a lot of it online, and it's like, why, girl? This is just your meat suit. You've been every race under the sun. You've been birds. You've been insects. You've even been trees. You've been everything. Don't get caught up. It's just another matrix trick. This race thing is a matrix trick. I guarantee you, if we all stood together in brotherly love and we loved our neighbor like we loved ourselves, we could bring this matrix down. If we say, you know what, I'm not playing this race game anymore, we could bring it down. It would crumble because their little formula, keeping 2/3 light and 1/3 darkness, would be off balance and it could crumble down. See, the whole thing is you are God. And see, that's what Will Smith understands. He understands that the dark void is where you're going to find your true essence, because guess what? You are the God particle. I always talk about it. It is in the darkness. Out of the darkness brings the light. You are the light. So if you go into the bright lights of heaven, light in light, you're not going to be able to see. And when you can't see, you're blind. And when you're blind, that's when you get the trick bag to come back and repeat this process and do it all over again. So those evil entities can feed off your energy. That's what this whole thing is about. We are a food source to these archons, to the demiurge. We are a food source. Okay, you are not supreme. You are not at the top of the food chain. If you're eating animals, we're all doing it. So you shall be eaten too. It's the same thing. We are a food source to other beings. You just can't see them, but we are a food source. So that's what's going on, guys. But we could end this matrix. That's why all these children, all these biracial children are being born. The rainbow children are here. And we still can't get it together, but we could end this. We could end this matrix. If we just say, you know what? I'm not playing this race game anymore. If we don't get triggered when they start slaughtering Black men and Black women, because they know that Black people are very emotional. They want to get a reaction out of you, because if they have too much light, they will start to cause chaos. Like this whole, Oscar situation. They need darkness out in the world. They needed it. They needed that darkness, and they made Will Smith was the person to do it. And it was great because he was going to bring down a lot of people with them. It was going to be talked about. Black people are emotional. They're going to be talking about it, and we're going to get that Black energy, and those beings are going to eat that up, and they're going to keep their balance because we're playing right into their system, guys. That is the whole point I'm trying to make in this video. That's just, we can start to see the cracks in the matrix, guys. Nothing is hidden. Like I said before, we have entered the new earth. We are standing in the 144,000 frequency energy. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden anymore. It's so easy to see what they are doing. So if you don't want them to win, then you must conquer it. You must conquer it by not giving into all of these things. Okay? That's really all I want to say today. I could keep going on and on and on, but I'm just going to leave it right there. It's a smack, man. I could even still feel it. Guys, I can feel that smack that was heard around the world. Guys, I'm out of here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click on that notification bell so you can get notified when I post another video, guys. I love you, the birds and the bees and the trees. They all love you too. I'm going to say it, guys. Love is the way, forgiveness is the key, and truth is the light that guides us home. Be well. Be well, guys.